Both coxes have their arms in the air. Umpires waiting for those to go down. It's all very still and calm, and here we go. So expecting a really exciting race here, Adrian, towards the end of the day on Friday, quarter-finals day here at Henley, and Thames have got away really nicely on the Buckinghamshire station here.
Yeah, but this is they've got quite a few events to qualify for the regatta, and this is their top boat. Both crews really patiently winding their boat speed up, and here coming to the end of the island, steering seems to be fine. Let's see if anybody keeps spinning or if anybody actually finds their rhythm early.
Yeah, so up the island, you're pretty much flat out really, aren't you? Just still winding it up and getting up to full rate, full length, full pace, full power, as much as you can to get the boat up to maximum speed. And then somewhere out here past 45 seconds, most crews look to do some sort of a change into a rhythm you think you can continue going at. Thames, for me, haven't made that step yet. They might have just made it there.
Yeah, they've really driven it out for quite a long time, but now, yeah, I think you're right, Greg. I think they've just about started to find a bit of time. And let's just see. One of the important things when you find your rhythm is how far is that blade from the stroke man go past the puddles. And an 8 is a very good judge of if the distance is clearing the puddles. That's something you really want to do at race pace, is clearing your puddles.
Yeah, and looking at that there, they're not quite chaining yet, are they? Just not quite getting out of the puddles. We call it a chain when your 4 puddles just land perfectly synchronized behind or in front of the next 4 puddles, so you leave a chain of puddles in the water. Thames now getting out to that as the rate just might come off a little bit, give themselves that little bit more time. Now they're producing that chain of puddles that goes on and on behind the boat, and it looks so good. When you look down behind the boat, you can see the straight line the cox is steering, you see the lines of puddles, and you see yourself easing away from your opposition.
Yeah, that's one of the unique things about an 8, is that if you know the stroke rate and as you watch the cover, you actually know how fast you're going. With something 4s and things, the gaps are much bigger and harder to tell. But Thames here, a little bit of steering there, being warned by the umpire. Big move by the cox there.
Yeah, Boris Rankoff there getting the flag out to ensure Thames get moving back early, and they've responded early, which they should do. The signal needs to come from the stroke to the cox to say, let's make that move, let's get back in place. And Tommy Phelps very quick there to say that to the cox and make that correction. Oslo, for me, nice, slightly more steady in their rate, slightly more steady in the rhythm. Be interesting to see how they can come through. They were last year's beaten finalists, Oslo, in the Thames Cup.
Oh, getting close.
And Thames easing back at them. Don't make Boris's life difficult.
Yeah, I think what you notice there, I think about the Oslo crew, is they're much more horizontal in the way they row. It just feels like the body weight isn't going up and down on the boat quite as much as the Thames crew, to me. Maybe that's going to be some efficiency that will pay dividends.
So that horizontal draw from the Oslo crew will be that little bit more efficient. Yeah, the boat won't bounce up and down, the boat won't pitch end on end quite so much. And maybe that efficiency will help them if they can hang in here and keep this overlap. Will they be able to come back anywhere later down the race?
Bit of zigzag steering there from the Oslo side. I think obviously some of the washers catching these boats, both 8s, are having a bit more difficulty than we saw in the last race of the Thames Cup. And it looks like it's quite tight to me going down here. Yeah, some good rhythm there set up by young Phelps in the stroke seat there. Both parents here have been working at the regatta, helping run this event, and their young son, having finished school, and he's off to row at Brown University next year, doing a great job there in the stroke seat.
Yeah, you can't get much better rowing pedigree than both the parents rowing internationally. And this Thames crew are looking to ease out. They're looking to get out of sight of the Oslo crew, but they haven't been able to do it yet. We're in the 3rd quarter now, coming down towards Upper Thames, and then they're going to get to Remenham. Thames will get that encouragement, that support from Remenham.
It's that really sticky point in an 8, isn't it, when the canvases are overlapping stern to bow, and if you're the leading crew, if you don't break that, the pressure slowly shifts over to you, doesn't it, because you're not really finishing the race off.
I think the pressure really shifts over to you because you feel like you haven't done what you need to, you haven't finished them, you're hurting, you're really starting to hurt at this point of the race. Been going for nearly 5 minutes of flat out working. They brought the rate down a little bit, but it's still pretty tough going, and Oslo, with that long flat draw, they're going to try to draw their boat back towards the crew from Thames, as we see Marcus Olomio in the middle of that boat, in the 6th seat of the Oslo boat, take that look to his left and say, come on, we're still right in this one.
Yeah, and it's always the difficult thing when it's hurting like that and you're overlapped. You really should be prepared just to put a really big effort in and just try and break, get some clear water and finish the race off. And if you don't do that, look what seems to be happening.
And look at that on that marker on the left of the screen, showing the crews virtually level. Probably a canvas is what the marker, the person in that board has made the estimation about what the gap is. Looks to me like it's a little bit more than the canvas.
It's going to be a good race, huh?
Certainly going to be a good race. Oslo with that efficiency you spoke about, Adrian, that flat draw, just drawing the boat in towards the enclosures.
And they're just going to be so pumped now with energy now. They've been overlapped, but now they're rowing back and back, and the Thames crew is going to be thinking, what do we need to do now to stay ahead? We've tried everything, and now they're just coming through and coming through. This is going to be tight.
And will the Cox have already asked for that big effort from the Thames crew? Will they have already attempted to do that move that you said, now you need to break them? Maybe they'll have already done that move, and now they're hanging on. The big move to break the crew from Oslo didn't work. Now Oslo are able to build it up in front of the enclosures. They're not in front yet, but will they manage to come through the crew from Thames? Stroke for stroke now, coming down in front of the enclosures, down in front of the grandstand. Thames hanging on.
It looks like Oslo are coming level. Thames held them for about 10 strokes there, but Oslo really
I don't think they're level
through.
yet. I don't think they're level yet. I think there's 10 strokes from the progress board, and I think it's half a canvas to Thames.
This is going to, can you make this up in 5-10 strokes from now? Who's got the last bit?
This one's going to be so tight as we're coming down towards the line. Thames have been brave. They've got out in front. Oslo have had their lovely rhythm. They've come back. Thames have managed to hang on. I'm going to call it by half a canvas.
That was a good race.
3 or 4 feet, a couple of meters. And it's confirmed there that Thames winning in the Thames Challenge Cup over the crew from Oslo.
Oslo just gave the Thames Rowing Club just a few too many feet through the middle of the race there, and just gave them too much distance to row back.
They did, didn't they? The Thames crew perhaps weren't able to finish them off. They weren't able to make their lives easy. They've had to race. They're absolutely flat out. They're going to feel that one tonight, and they won't be happy really having a race that tough at nearly 7 o'clock on Friday night. They'll be hoping for a kind draw from the stewards tomorrow that they're not on first thing in the morning.
Yeah, by the time they get wound down and flushed out and then go and get some dinner, it'll be 9-10 o'clock. Here we go. Quite a bit of sort of umpiring work needed to be done by Boris Rankoff at the beginning of this race, but nobody ever near clashing blades. Here they are. This is the bit where Oslo were coming up on the Thames crew. It looked like they were going to keep the momentum, but Thames held them off.
You're right, Adrian. It came down to those last 10 strokes, didn't it? Oslo looked like they were drawing level, but when it just came to that final sprint, Thames were able to keep the power, keep the length, and just hang on for that very narrow win.